We're about ready to go in the tournament final. A lot of purple and a lot of red as Washington gets ready to play the Arizona Wildcats.
We didn't like them and they didn't like us, and it was like known. For whatever reason, we killed them when they came up to UW.
It's knocked out of bounds. Thomas, though, what a save! Listen to this crowd.
That was probably the loudest I ever heard the arena. That was an amazing game.
Raise the roof, Washington.
We had won in our place, and then Derek Williams blocks the shot at their place, and we came up short. So this was the tiebreaker. We had great, great respect for Arizona. It was going to be a tough challenge for us.
Thomas, double clutch. Oh.
Both teams were playing with an incredible rhythm. There was a collective effervescence in the room. People in the lower bowl were standing because you had so many great individual performances, especially Isiah Thomas. He was hitting all kinds of shots.
Isiah, double clutch and one. Young Zeke, giving him numbers.
I grew up in Detroit, always been a longtime Piston fan. Isiah Thomas hung the moon in my eyes. For me, growing up as a kid, he was called Zeke.
Like everybody says, Young, Zeke, and Washington. My family only calls me Zeke. Like my close friends call me Young Zeke, like at that moment.
1 minute remaining. Arizona with a 4-point lead.
Talk about holding your breath. Arizona's fans, they were ready to celebrate. Yeah, we're nervous because we're down. There's less than a minute to go, and we're like, all right, this might be it.
Isiah, oh! Young Zeke.
Isiah almost treated it like a video game, you know. He had the sticks in his hands.
He wants the ball in his hands. In the corner, it's up and good for Terrence Ross.
I never felt like the game was slipping away. And sure enough, we were able to stay close. We could never get away from them. They could never get away from us.
3-point Arizona lead with 14 seconds to go. Here comes Thomas, left to right in the front court. Crossover move on Jones.
They help off the corner, which you're really not supposed to do. Obviously, they probably thought that I was going to take the shot no matter what.
Here comes Thomas. Needs a three. Crossed over. Kicked it out. Wilcox got it. And we're tied at 68. 5.7 to go.
I don't think any shot felt good coming out of my hand that game, but it looked solid. You just keep shooting. The reps that you've taken throughout the entire year and all the summers previous to that, that's when they come into play.
Here comes Momo. Game tied. The runner off the heel. And we're going to overtime in L.A.
Once it didn't go in, I remember doing this all the way to our bench. Like, we're good. That's all we needed. That's all we needed was to get to overtime. And we did that.
So Washington from the brink draws a deep breath and will play another 5 minutes here.
We got the little break, media timeout, going into overtime. I'm getting my breath. I'm just thinking about winning. I'm like, this is our chance.
And the front court to the bucket and a jam. Wilcox caught everybody sleeping. 3-point game.
We're up 3, so I'm good. Like, we're kind of comfortable.
Horn trying to get a good look. Parham does. Ah! Man, what a shot.
I just feel like that ball was taking forever to go to the hoop. When he hits it, I'm just like, cool. At least, like, it's just tie game. When we're up 3, I'm fine with being up 3, and maybe they hit it and we're going another overtime.
Tied at 75. We're in overtime. Can the Huskies win it right here?
Sometimes you got to listen to that voice in your head. So I pull out the flip camera and I just press record. And I had a feeling like I was either going to catch like a big eruption or I was going to catch our collective disappointment.
I'm just thinking, Romar, don't call no timeout. Let me just figure this one out.
We made that eye contact, and he waved like,
I got it. Not even necessarily I got it. Just I get us a good shot.
go ahead, Isiah. If you ever want to get in a position to win the game with Isiah Thomas and he's got the ball in his hand, things are probably going to turn out right.
Isiah, shot clock turned off. Game clock at 8. He's gonna do it himself.
You wouldn't want the ball, if you're Washington, in anybody's hands but Isiah. No, did I think he was going to pass it or try to generate something for somebody else? No. He knew that this was the moment for his team. This was the moment for a championship.
Thomas sizing up Jones.
I was gonna do a right to left crossover. That's usually a go-to where nobody's really containing that. Momo Jones played really good defense. He sat on my crossover. I did right to left. He didn't really go nowhere. And when I tried to go, I lost the ball. Luckily, I was able to control the ball and step back. And then I got my bounce underneath me. I got my legs underneath me. And once it left my hands, you could see me going back because I was like, oh, it's cash.
Thomas, shake, crossover, step back. At the buzzer, Young, Zeke, and Washington wins it on a last-second J. Cold Blooded.
Young Zeke, cold-blooded. I mean, wow. It just came out of my head, out of my mouth, out of my spirit, because that's what I saw. I saw like a young Isiah Thomas, literally and figuratively, winning a big game for his team. And that's just the way Zeke did it when he was with the Pistons and with Indiana.
I always told myself when I hit a game winner, I was just gonna run around and make everybody chase me. Like, I didn't even know what to do. Like, I looked at my family, because they were like diagonal of my shot, grabbed my shorts. I didn't know what to do. And then I looked into the camera.
I remember Isiah just falling on the floor just from exhaustion for the entire tournament and just, just hyping him up. That was his moment. He made a great play. That's going to be part of our history forever.
In my head, I was thinking, oh, that's going in. You see us all jumping up immediately after he hits that. I just remember my mouth hurt because I was smiling so much. If that's even a thing for a cheerleader, I just remember smiling so much.
As soon as it hits the net, the buzzer and the sound goes off at the same time and the backboard lights up. And I'm like, yo, that's poetry in motion. When you think about basketball, when you think about catching the moment, when you think about goosebumps, when you think about everything working together in a perfect symphony artistically, it's the moments like that that make you fall in love with not only being a Husky, but being a sports fan. I'm getting choked out. Somebody pulled me back. I probably couldn't breathe for 5 seconds. It was chaotic. And then we were like, do we storm the court? But then we're like, no, we're vets. We're good.
Crossover, step back. At the buzzer, Young.
I just remember standing up because the energy in the building was so electric and lit. It was such a terrific, subtle move. And the audio in the building was incredible because it was almost like as soon as that ball went up in the air, everybody held their breath.
Crossover, step back.
Until it went in. And that's what you live for. That's why you broadcast. That's what you want to be part of. That's what you dream of.
He's gonna do it himself.
I mean, the Gus call makes it what it really is. Like, the shot is amazing, obviously. But he made it go up 100 levels higher.
Thomas, shake.
Like, he called out everything. Like, he was just talking with close friends. Like, it didn't seem like it was a national televised game how he was talking.
Crossover, step back. At the buzzer, Young, Zeke, and Washington wins it on a last-second J. Cold Blooded.
Cold-blooded. He made that shot bigger than what it was.
Isiah Thomas knocking down that shot to win the Pac-10 championship was the first time I ever called a game-winning shot for a title. For some reason, it seemed like there was something cold and calculated about it because it was genius, it was brilliant.
Back then it was for me, it was for my team. Now it's like, that's a legacy thing. Like my kids are gonna see that forever. It means that much more now for sure. For my parents, my family to actually see it and be there every step of the way, for my kids to actually feel and touch those moments as well, like, that's what that means, that's everything.
Cold-blooded. Then after that call, they're pausing for a commercial. He goes,
As Isiah Thomas.
I love the whole call, but then when he just sits back and says, ha ha, that's just brings chills.